gear that's light on your back as well as your wallet. What's up guys, my name is Thor, and today we're talking about ultralight gear on a budget. Whether you're a beginner backpacker or a well-seasoned backpacker, you'll find some value in this video. And whether that value is from me and the words that I'm saying, or whether that's from the value that you add in the comment section below. Be sure to keep following because this is just the first video in a whole series, where at the end of this series, I'm gonna be putting together an entire ultralight gear loadout on a budget. So make sure that you're subscribed and your bell notifications on so you don't miss any of those videos. Going ultralight is something that's very controversial in our community. Not because it's wrong or right, but just because everybody does it different. So please take this video with a grain of salt and know that there's not one way to backpack. There's not one way to cut weight, and that we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to get out on trail and enjoy it. Let's get to today's video and check out some ultralight gear that's budget friendly. So the first piece of gear that we're going to cover today is a sleeping bag or a quilt. I've tried the Aegis Max Ultralight quilt, I've tried the Costco down quilt, and my go-to quilt is the UGQ Bandit top quilt, and I carry the 20-degree bag. But something I've been on the search for is something that's going to not only be lightweight, high quality, and budget friendly, but that's also going to keep me warm and safe when I'm out on backpacking trips. And the piece of gear that I found that checks off those boxes is the Get Out Gear down blanket. Even though this is marketed as a blanket, it's kind of like the Aegis Max quilt that's kind of like a sleeping bag, kind of like a quilt, kind of like a blanket. The 3 snaps are something that's kind of unique to this design, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, because it's really cool, because it allows you to do a number of things. Number one, when you're sitting up in your tent or when you're sitting by the campfire, you can snap it around you like a coat, and you can open up the quilt so it's just that, a blanket or a quilt. And you can also fold this in half and snap it together to create a rectangle sleeping bag. This is a 650 fill down quilt that's a 20D ripstop nylon. It measures 84 inches by 52 inches. It's actually a little bit longer than the quilt that I use personally, and it's plenty wide for me. In using the Aegis Max quilt, it just felt a little too thin and I didn't fit quite right. But in this quilt, I've had plenty of room to move around and to configure it in whichever way that I want to use it. Now let's talk about weight and price. This comes in at 16 ounces, so at exactly a pound with both the quilt and the stuff sack. It's extremely ultralight. And this particular quilt is $69 over on Amazon. I'll be sure to include links in the description below so that you can go check it out. So not only is this going to be a great budget option to get you out in most conditions, it's also going to be nice and light on your back. So next up, we're going to be talking about water filtration. The typical setup that I go to is the Be Free from Katadyn. Now along with this 1 liter bag, this is the bag that I typically carry on my sternum strap or my daisy chain right here with the water clip here from Z-Pack so I can hang it right here. But I also bring along the 2 liter Hydro Pack water bladder. Filter and the 1 liter bag is about $40 and this is about $20. So together you're looking about $60 for a water filtration system. But what I found is that if you're trying to cut weight and you're trying to be budget friendly, there's an option that might be better for you that you should consider. A good filter to look at if you're just getting into ultralight backpacking or you're just looking to cut weight is the Sawyer Mini. Not only is the flow rate great, it's tried and true, but it comes with a few extra things that you're not going to get with the Be Free. So not only are you going to get the filter, it comes with bags and that are either 16 or 32 ounces. It just depends on where you buy it. So the first thing you get with this filter is the bag. The second thing you get that makes this kit really versatile is a straw. So what you can do is you can attach this to the bottom of your filter and treat this like a life straw. So if you just want to grab a quick drink or you carry a NALGENE bottle on trail, you can just stick this down inside, take a drink, and you're good to go. So we have the bag that comes with it, the straw. It also pairs up perfectly with almost any normal sized water bottle. It has the same threads as a smart water bottle, a life water bottle, just a regular water bottle. So you have the ability to drink straight from here, or you can filter from here. So this water filter, not only is it cheap, it's really versatile. It has multiple functions that make it easier for you, the backpacker, when trying to filter water. The price on this item is $20, and that's for the full kit. And it weighs about 2 ounces. So is it crazy ultralight in comparison to my Be Free setup? No. It'll save you a little bit of weight, but what it's going to do is save you some cost and also give you some more options if you're not looking to filter in only one way. Speaking of water bottles and filtering, Another area that I found that I was able to cut a lot of weight and simplify my loadout was to graduate from the typical NALGENE bottle to a gas station water bottle. Now, I'm not saying that you have to leave this at home, it's just an area to think about. 32 ounce NALGENE, which is the most popular, weighs about 6 to 7 ounces and costs about $12. This holds 33 ounces, so 1 ounce more. It's about $1 at a gas station, and it weighs about 1 ounce. It's reusable, it connects to the Sawyer filter, and it's one place that you can look to cut weight and save a lot of money when preparing for your next trip. Okay, so let's talk about trekking poles. Trekking poles are an area where a lot of people can get confused and lost. There are so many options. I started out with a pair from Black Diamond, $100 to $120 model. I got them used, so they were really cheap when I bought them, but that was a total fluke. What I have found is that there is a trekking pole out there that's extremely lightweight and is very budget friendly. And that is Cascade Mountain Tech Carbon Trekking Pole. And this is the trekking pole that has the flip and lock system. I don't tend to enjoy the ones that are twisting and locking. I find that they wear out quicker and that they don't hold as strong. Whether that's been true for you, I don't know, but in my experience, the flip locks are much more efficient and stronger. The carbon fiber trekking pole from Cascade Mountain comes in at 7.8 ounces and is $50 for the pair over on Amazon.com. If $50 is still too steep for you, they do sell an aluminum version that's $20 to $30 depending on when you buy them. It's not a huge significant amount of weight difference, but if you're looking to cut even more budget, check out the aluminum ones. But what I found using as a traditional trekking pole for setting up my tent, for setting up a tarp shelter or awnings on my tent, this has been the perfect trekking pole for me. It's been one of those pieces of budget gear that you just feel like it's the diamond in the rough. It's a piece of gear that you're so glad you found because not only was it budget friendly, it's been high quality and really useful. So check out the Cascade Mountain Tech trekking pole. Okay, so next is something that's part of your cook system. My go-to stove for the last 2 years has been the Soto Windmaster. This I've put through really good testing and it's my favorite stove. It's my go-to stove. About 3.2 ounces and costs about $65. If $65 is a little bit too much for you, again, you're just looking to get into ultralight backpacking or you're just looking into getting into backpacking at all, $65 can seem like a lot of money. It is. You work hard for your money and so you want to save money where you can. And stoves is an area where you can save a lot of money. Now this is not an area where you're going to be saving pounds. You're going to be saving a few ounces, but ounces can add up. The stove that I found that I've been testing for the last year and that I'm going to be using on trail this year is the BRS 3000 titanium stove. This is one of the most popular stoves in the backpacking community, and I realize that. I realize there's a lot of videos, but the reason that I'm including it in this video is because I haven't found a better solution for this stove. It's 0.9 ounces or 25 grams and it's $16. Stove is gonna work no matter what type of backpacker you are. If you're a through hiker, a section hiker, or a weekend warrior, this stove's a great way to go. Now, one of my main concerns when I first bought this was that the base seemed really small. It felt like I could put only a really small pot on there. The pot that I use is an MSR Titan kettle. It's about 0.8 liters, so it's a good sized pot, and it stays on this just fine. So every pot that I've had, big or small, has worked on this. So if you're looking for a nice stove, it's not gonna break the bank, the BRS is a great way to go. Before we end today's video, I just wanna make sure that you know that being an ultralight backpacker or having an ultralight setup is not the end. It's not the goal, it's just something that's fun. If you're an ultralight backpacker, great. If you're somebody that's trying to cut your base weight down, that's awesome. Whether it's more of a game for you to see how low you can get your weight, or whether you're a through hiker that's hiking huge miles, huge days, and needs the lightest pack possible, the gear that I've shown today and the concepts are something that you could take into practice and figure out what gear works for you. I am not an ultralight backpacker. I'm not a through hiker. I just enjoy seeing what I can do with different setups and with different gear. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to follow along because this is just the first video in a whole series of video about ultralight budget backpacking gear. Thank you for taking the time to click on this video today, and thanks for stopping by.